Open it.
Of course, I want you to open up, Cassie Brown, because you like it's like the red carpet. And like every time I'm captivated about what we're going to talk, we know what we're going to talk about, but she just makes it sound so good that I can't wait to hear what we're going to talk about. So without further ado, Cassie Brown, open us up. What are we talking about today?
All right. So we are coming in hot on the heels of the last episode where we challenged you to ask yourself, what would it look like? Right? To identify someone who you could serve right where they're at right now with your solution, product, offer, and make them the offer. Right. So, one, let's take some inventory, right? Did you take action? Did you kind of squirm in your seat and be like, holy heck, this feels really heavy and scary? Right. And did you bulldoze through that fear anyway? Right. And what did it feel like? What did it look like? Because that's what we're going to be talking today, like impact one. And sometimes the impact one that we're talking about is the person that you wake up to and you stare at in the mirror every single day. So I want you to be graceful, like we talked about last episode too. So when I ask those questions, you're like, dang, I didn't do anything. I didn't make an offer, right? Okay, that's as far as self beat up as we're going, because your impact one is yourself and your awareness of what you didn't do and how you can shift that opportunity for growth. That is a success. And so that's what we're diving in today is the ripple effect of impacting just one life and one person with your product, your solution, your offer, your failures, your messy, and what it will mean to you in 30, 60, 90 days, 4 years, 5 years down the road. So we're pulling back all of these years of what we've launched, where we've missed, but we've kept the focus, like the thing that boils to the surface and the common denominator pattern is we kept our eyes on making an impact for at least one person.
I think that's like the whole episode because I don't think people thought we would call them out. I thought that, when we like my kids, I feel like Jack is like right beside me and I'm on a Peloton ride. He's like, we don't play. We don't play. And I'm just like, I know I could do it. I don't think that they thought we would call them out. And that whole like impact one, and then when you said it's the person looking back at you in the mirror, I mean, mic drop. What else do we need to talk about? But when we're talking about impact one, what really for me, deconstructing the launch mindset is that I want to break it down into simple terms that mere mortals, and I am raising my hand. You guys got to go to the YouTube channel because you can see us. You can see the jazz hands. You can see me raising my hands. You can see my expressions of when Cassie spits fire strategy. But I want us to deconstruct that launch mindset for mere mortals of really setting an expectation of what most likely will happen, right? I think that the launch structure is based upon, and I don't want to take anything away. This is not us throwing rocks at people who have done a really good job and have put in the work and have done all of the things that we're talking about doing right now. The only thing that I want to bring up is that we are not them. We, everybody has to start with one. And we're challenging you to have that one conversation, which is a beautiful lead into, I wanted to share really my experience in implementing this. And I don't even know. I mean, advanced maternal age, don't quote me, 3-4 years ago, when I launched a program, it literally was through, I would do video on Facebook Messenger to people that I knew. This wasn't like creepy DMs and people I didn't know. And it's like, hey, Cassie, I know that you were dealing with this thing. Do you mind filling out this form and let's hop on a call? It's literally how the conversation started. I did the fun filters. I think I was sitting in my car waiting on Maggie while she was practicing. And people would fill it out and we would hop on a call. That helped me really, if we're going to call it sales call, it helped me with a conversation. I had a baseline of where they were. I had the solution, which was the processes and systems and how to guide them to get them to where they needed to go. All right. So we're going to say beta was 497, was not built out. The first thing that I always recommend to folks that they have that initial, like when someone buys from you, like what is the next step in that experience? How do you want them to feel? And so that's what I had built out. And I let them know, even in the conversation that we were having, is that it's not built out. We're building out together. And this is kind of what it looks like. This is what I think it looks like. So I had done the work, I had organized the outline, and actually I had connected with people because like I was sweating bullets, and I connected with people who I thought were like in their zone and could contribute to the community, and all the responsibility was not on me, which made me feel good because what I was getting ready, I didn't even know what I was getting ready to get into. I just knew that it was going to happen in 12 weeks. That's what we were going to do, right? Now, mind you, I'm still working, still homeschooling, and we're doing travel soccer. So travel soccer is like an 8-hour drive one way on a weekend and then coming home late at night on a Sunday. All right. So I've painted that picture for you, right? And people started saying yes. And I was like, well, this is really good. 497, 16 people said yes. So I made about $8,000, right? People are paying me to build it out and prove out that my theory, my processes and systems work. And so I got myself being a process systems person. I had myself really in a good flow. The way things would happen, they would get an email on Sunday night. This is what was happening. I dropped the module and the checklist on Monday, and then I would follow up with a live call on Thursday. We did this for 12 weeks. Is it exhausting? Yes, it is exhausting. I mean, if you're going to build a course that way, yes, but I would rather build a course that way with my people than in a dark cave and launch to crickets. So the difference there was that in deconstructing that launch mindset is that I was having conversations, which was making me more confident, which has helped framing what it is I was actually going to be teaching. And in the process, it was fluid enough in my Calm My Baby Ugly sessions where I was getting feedback, where it was clear to me, but it was clear as mud to them. So it doesn't matter how I think about it, right? It's how they think about it and how they are going to go and implement. The other thing that I will say, and I'm going to pass the baton over to Cassie, is that the most important thing in your day, like it's your business. It's not the most important thing to your clients, and it's not the most important thing to your students. It's what we live, we breathe, we eat, we sleep, like all of the things, our course that we're launching or our offer that we're launching, it's not to them. And so you as the expert, if you can make this so easy, i.e. not 12 weeks, for them to get quick wins when you have a touch point with them, that needs to be the goal instead of, I think I'm going to do 20 modules. I think it's going to take 12 weeks. I think I'm going to have 15, 60, 90-minute calls, and they're going to have to go back and watch all of these. Nobody wants that. I have actually been ticked off to purchase something that is a 2-hour call that is recorded, available on YouTube, that I'm like, it's not helping me. Help your people, build it with them, have them pay you. That's why I always say, like, service-based business owners are amazing. Their clients are helping them to discover what it is they're really, really good at. That was really long, Cassie. Like
I feel like you're kind of passionate about that.
Yeah, but I didn't think I was a failure. People were paying me. I was so excited about doing that. And then now I have content, and I'm going to be honest, that content has gone on to make multiple six figures in a different capacity. Not even the original way that I had intended it to be, 3-4 years ago.
Right. And that is what I mean when I say the ultimate ripple effect, right? Like the decisions that we make affect our future, right? And so the decisions that we make today, we are essentially pulling the future forward and making it a reality faster. So I love that you shared about your first launch. And I want to share the way that I experienced the launch of my first coaching offer. And on all accounts, I was not super graceful with myself, and you'll see why. But this ended up being one of the most powerful lessons for me and the people that I coached, because I saw the reactions on the other side, like once I got through it, on what an impact it made for the people that I was working with in the future. So my first program, you did a heck of a lot better than me, Rhonda. Holy smokes. My first program was a $97 offer for 8 weeks of live coaching support. And I am talking about like everything that they needed in marketing, positioning, making their offers, and all of that type. Like if they were like a baby, I was just like choo-choo, shoving it in. Like, what else do you need? What else do you need? What else do you need? And I sold 2. I gave 4 away, and I didn't cancel it. I showed up and I coached my heart out. I got up week in and week out, and I looked those people in the eyes, and I saw transformation and a difference that I was making through showing up for them. So my impact 1 was working on a small scale, yes, but the greatest scale that it worked on was for me. Mm-hmm. It taught me, when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And when I say I'm going to show up, I show up and I play full on out. It's not about revenue, because when you talk revenue and ROI, that was the least profitable thing I've ever launched, but it got me here today. And if I hadn't, those 5 and 6 figure offers would have never come. My confidence as a coach would have never come. And coming on the other side of that, I showed up and I needed to be for them. But inside, my ego was hurt. My ego was crushed. And it was one of those things where it's like, Lord God, I hope no one ever finds out about this launch, because it's embarrassing. That's where I want, like, so polarity, right? And transparency there. But when I did have the opportunity to coach with the 2CCX program and to work with Russell Brunson and Julie Stillman and I had my roster of 100 people, guess what was one of the most powerful things that I got to share with them? It was that story. It was that I did it anyway, that I kept going, because you are going to face rejection. You are going to face missing the mark, right? When I cleared out all of that junk that was going on in my head of my ego and pride being hurt, and finally got down to the important conversation, I served my heart out, but it was the wrong who. They weren't ready. And I was trying to force something onto them that I was more excited about than they were. So I was that impact 1. And it closed the gap for them. It did what it promised to do, right? And they are better for it today. But it taught me that the refinement data points were more important than my ego at that point of time, and being like, I get to celebrate on the mountaintop. And now I run towards the evolution faster than I do for just, let's make a lot of money. No, I want to make a lot of impact, lasting impact. And I am grateful. I wouldn't change a thing.
So at the beginning of this episode, Impact 1, you were thinking that we were going to be talking about impacting somebody else, where really, I mean, her story just tied it up with a bow, and it's impacting you. A lot of questions I think that we ask ourselves and that we've come up in our program is, what if, what if, what if, what if? Number one, like Cassie and I are not in the program. So we can't tell you specifically what's going to happen. What we can do is give you the safe space to ask those questions and be uncomfortable enough to take action and get the result and come back. Okay, well, I did this. Now what? You're able to, I think it's important, like when we talk about pricing, we talk about what that offer is. Cassie, I don't feel comfortable charging $4,000. I don't feel comfortable charging $1,000. This is so easy. $97. Was it 8 weeks?
Yes.
97.
Yes.
Okay. 97. I was 497, 12 weeks. So I went a
That's
little
what
bit.
I'm saying. You win.
There you go. But the mindset shift that you have in that moment is really what that impact is. You have to experience all of those things. And I completely understand that. No one, okay, if someone tells you that they know, like run, Forrest, run. They don't. They need to give you a safe space to work those problems out and encourage you to take the action and be confident in that, because it's the exploration and the things that you figure out. I am thankful for that $97 coaching offer that you gave out, because today, I mean, the fire that comes out of you for strategy is so refined and on point. There is nothing that is thrown her way that she cannot offer some sort of insight or feedback to. Yeah. And the light bulb moments, like when we're on client calls, sometimes their whole body language, their eyes like twinkle a little bit, their shoulders come down. Or, I mean, I'm just going to call David out. In David's case, when he realized what he really had, like, it was like those toys that like, they're really straight and then they like totally collapse, right? When he realized that, he was working so hard towards it. We can't see the forest for the trees. It's one of the things I put in our website copy with the person that we're working with to design the website. What is the biggest problem of your person? The biggest problem of our people is that they can't see what's right in front of them. So today is an amazing episode, and hopefully a gift that you see that it's the action that ultimately, collectively over time, allows you to say to yourself, could it be this easy?
100%. And it's also a surrendering to that evolution process, the refinement process, right? The impact one. There are things in your life that you are saying, I can't do, that if you just gave yourself the grace to fall, you would realize I shouldn't have given much worry and energy to that in the first place. So when we talk about impact one, you very well could be that first major contribution. And then moving further and evolving, right? And realizing, okay, my dream client could be off. My offer to the marketplace could be off. And when we start to refine that and dial that in, okay, who are we impacting? Who's my person, right? They are living, they are breathing, they are struggling, right? So talk to that one person, make them the offer, right? So same challenge as last week, make them the offer. Impact them, and then do it again, and do it again, and do it again, and do it again.
Your dream client is not going to think any less of you if you falter on that tightrope. The wrong person that you're working with will find ways to set you up for failure. And at that point, coming to the table, it's not an equal partnership. And if you're under that and you feel like you're always on guard, it's not the right person, because you are never, ever going to live up to their expectation. And that does not mean anything less of what you have to offer. That was another client experience that I had. I should have, in the beginning, during the discovery call, everything was great. And I feel like, it's almost like they were lulling me in and kind of pulling me in. And they had they were tiger. Like I had that thing that I wanted, that little cupcaker thing that they just keep pulling me in. And then she snapped and asked this question. And I was like, dang it. And I'm an A type. So I hate being called out on the rug sometimes on stuff when I know like it needs, and I was like, dang it. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I didn't cover it up, but that right there should have told me that that was the way this relationship was going to go. So even that experience, like whoever it is you're working with impacts you, don't let that overshadow you and keep you from impacting the right people.
Boom. All right. So thank you for listening. Thank you for hanging out with us. Please reply to these emails and let us know. I love the episode, what your favorite episode was, what you've done and the action items, where you are at in the growth and the mind shift of your own business and the way that you're impacting the world. And if you make an offer uncomfortably, and in a messy, imperfect way, we want to know about it. So share with us what you're doing. We want to uplift you and champion you on. And we are going to be here week in and week out with the next episode. And with that, I think we can say goodbye and we will see you next episode.
Well, if they do want to see us, Cassie Brown, they need to go to our YouTube channel. Like that.
Here we go. But
if they want to see us, because I don't think yes, they can. Like with the podcast episodes, definitely they can chime in and like we're seeing the love and we're seeing the hearts and all that sort of thing. But they can also see us on our YouTube channel. So, and there's a lot of stuff over there. So you can hear us and you can see us and you can see all of like the jazz hands and everything. So that's all I got for you.
All right. We love you guys. We'll see you next time.
Take care.